The war arena of Kethmaran had seen 1,000 battles, witnessed the clash of the galaxy's most fearsome warriors, and claimed the lives of countless champions. Today, however, General Vex Thul of the Crimson Dominion faced his most perplexing challenge yet. "The humans have responded to your ultimatum, General," reported Captain Zarlok, his reptilian features twisted with confusion. "They say they're sending the beast." General Vex Thul's four eyes gleamed with anticipation. For 3 standard cycles, his forces had been systematically conquering human colonies along the outer rim. The humans had fought bravely but futilely against the Dominion's superior technology and warrior culture. This final challenge, single combat between champions, would determine the fate of the remaining human worlds. "Excellent," the general rumbled, his massive frame casting shadows across the command center. "Our intelligence suggests Earth produces remarkable warriors. Their military history is quite impressive for such a young species." "Sir," Zarlok hesitated, "there's something unusual about their response. They're requesting special accommodations for their champion. Temperature control, specific atmospheric conditions, and toys." "Toys?" Vex Thul's mandibles clicked with amusement. "Perhaps their warrior requires weapons we're unfamiliar with." "No matter. I have chosen Gruk-Thor the Destroyer as our champion. He has never lost a combat trial." Through the reinforced observation windows, they could see Gruk-Thor preparing in the arena below. Standing 3 meters tall, with natural armor plating and serrated bone spurs protruding from his limbs, he was the pinnacle of Dominion genetic engineering. His claws could tear through starship hull, and his roar had been known to cause heart failure in weaker species. "The human transport is requesting permission to land, General," Communications Officer Velthara announced. "Granted. Let's see what manner of beast the humans consider worthy of single combat." An hour later, the arena was packed with Dominion citizens eager to witness their champion's victory. The betting pools heavily favored Gruk-Thor, with odds of 50,000 to 1 against whatever creature the humans had brought. General Vex Thul stood in the VIP viewing box, surrounded by his officers and the most important members of Dominion society. Below, Gruk-Thor prowled the arena floor, his massive form casting intimidating shadows. "Attention!" The arena announcer's voice boomed across the stadium, presenting the champion of the Crimson Dominion, Gruk-Thor the Destroyer, slayer of thousands, undefeated terror of 100 worlds. The crowd erupted in approval as Gruk-Thor raised his clawed arms and released a war cry that shook the arena's foundation. And now, the announcer continued with notable uncertainty, representing the human colonies, the beast. The arena's main gate opened with a dramatic rumble of machinery. Smoke effects billowed across the entrance as dramatic music swelled. The crowd held its breath, waiting to see what manner of terrible creature Earth had produced. A small figure bounded through the smoke. The music stopped. The crowd fell silent. "That's..." Captain Zarlok's voice cracked. "That's not possible." Trotting happily into the center of the arena was a golden retriever puppy, approximately 6 months old, with fluffy fur that caught the arena's lighting perfectly. It had a red collar with a small bell that jingled with each bouncing step. Upon seeing the massive crowd, the puppy sat down and tilted its head with the universal expression of canine curiosity. General Vex Thul stared in stunned silence. Around him, his officers exchanged bewildered glances. "General Velthara reported weakly. The human representative is requesting permission to address the arena." "Granted," Vex Thul managed to croak. A holographic image of Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth Defense Force appeared above the arena floor. She was a middle-aged woman in a crisp military uniform, and her expression was completely serious. "Citizens of the Crimson Dominion," she began formally, "Earth presents our champion, Sergeant Biscuits, First Class." The puppy, hearing its name, began wagging its tail enthusiastically. "This is a joke," Thor rumbled from the arena floor, his voice amplified by the arena's systems. "I am a warrior, not a puppy sitter." Captain Chen's expression didn't change. "I assure you, General Thor, this is no joke. Sergeant Biscuits has been specially trained for this mission. He represents the full might and determination of humanity." "It's a baby animal." Thor exploded. "We cannot conduct honorable combat against a—" He was interrupted by a collective gasp from the crowd. In the arena, Thor had approached the puppy, intending to end this farce quickly. But as he raised his massive clawed hand, the puppy looked up at him with large, trusting brown eyes and made a small, happy yipping sound. Thor froze. The crowd watched in fascination as the most feared warrior in the Dominion slowly lowered his hand and stared at the small creature that was now playfully pawing at his armored foot. Thor. Thor commanded through the communication system. "End this mockery immediately." But Thor seemed transfixed. The puppy had rolled over on its back, exposing its fluffy belly in the universal gesture of trust and submission. Its tail was still wagging, and it was making small, content sounds. Thor's voice carried a note of confusion that had never been heard before. It's not afraid of me." "Of course it's not afraid." Thor snarled. "It's too stupid to understand the danger. Kill it and be done with this insult." Thor reached down again, but this time the puppy grabbed one of his claws with its tiny paws and began playfully gnawing on it. The sight of the galaxy's most feared warrior being gently mouthed by a creature small enough to fit in his palm was surreal. General Captain Chen's voice carried clearly through the arena. "I should mention that Sergeant Biscuits has been exposed to a concentrated form of human emotional conditioning. It's quite effective." "What are you talking about?" Thor demanded. "Cuteness overload, General. It's a documented human response to certain stimuli. Apparently, it works on other species too." Throughout the arena, something unprecedented was happening. Hardened Dominion warriors, beings who had conquered countless worlds and showed no mercy to their enemies, were cooing at the puppy. Several had their recording devices out, capturing images of the adorable creature. In the arena, Thor had actually picked up the puppy, who was now licking his face with a tiny pink tongue. This is not how warriors behave," Thor said weakly, but he was gently scratching behind the puppy's ears. "The terms of combat were clear," Captain Chen continued relentlessly. "Single combat to determine the fate of the human colonies. Your champion must defeat ours, or the challenge ends in our favor." Thor. Thor's voice was desperate now. "You are a destroyer of worlds. You cannot be defeated by what, General?" Captain Chen asked sweetly. "By the beast? Because I should warn you, Sergeant Biscuits has additional capabilities." As if on cue, the puppy looked directly up at the VIP box where General Thor stood. Their eyes met across the arena, and the puppy tilted its head with an expression of such pure, innocent curiosity that the general actually took a step backward. "What is it doing?" he whispered. "Psychological warfare," Captain Chen replied. "Earth's most advanced weapon. Unconditional love and trust. We've found it to be remarkably effective against aggressive species." In the arena, Thor was now sitting cross-legged on the floor, with the puppy curled up in his lap for a nap. The terrible warrior was staring down at the sleeping creature with an expression of wonder. "I cannot fight this," he announced to the stunned crowd. It has done something to me. I feel protective of it." The match is concluded, the arena judge announced, his voice carrying disbelief. "By forfeit, the victory goes to the beast." The crowd erupted, but not in anger. Thousands of Dominion citizens were now chanting Sergeant Biscuits. while recording devices flashed throughout the stadium. General Vex Thal collapsed into his command chair, staring at the impossible scene below. General Captain Zarlok said quietly, "The human representative is requesting a private communication." Captain Chen's image appeared on his personal screen, and for the first time, she was smiling. "General Vex Thal," she said, "Earth is prepared to discuss terms for a ceasefire. But I should warn you, we have an entire planet full of puppies, kittens, and baby animals. Are you really prepared to face our full arsenal?" Vex Thal looked down at the arena, where his greatest warrior was now teaching the puppy to play fetch with pieces of his own armor. "What are your terms?" he asked weakly. "Immediate withdrawal from all human colonies, establishment of diplomatic relations, and," she paused, "Sergeant Biscuits would like to arrange playdates with any Dominion citizens who are interested." Apparently, he's quite social. As peace negotiations began, and the most feared military force in the galaxy was conquered by 6 months of pure weaponized adorableness, General Vex Thal realized that Earth's greatest weapon wasn't their technology or their warriors. It was their ability to make even the most hardened killers want to protect something innocent and trusting. The war was over. Sergeant Biscuits had won it with nothing more than tail wags and puppy breath. And somehow, that seemed perfectly reasonable.